Boo! Yeah. It's time for Tinker Tailor's Soldier Fry. Here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network, we are back, folks! And we are larger than ever. It's hobby night, and that means I have two friends here to help me out with keeping the boredom away as we put our projects slowly to bed over the course of multiple weeks. We got Jacob.
Hello.
And we got Cameron. And of course, over in the booth, we have the sonorous voice of Paul.
Hello.
And of course, most importantly, we have you, the viewer at home, who may or may not also be a contributor at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, the reason why we're able to do this program and all of the programs here on the network. We greatly thank you for your contributions and your ongoing contributions to keep us afloat and motoring, maybe even jet foiling, depending on how much we're feeling that day. Of course, check out store.loadingreadyrun.com for more ways to help us out directly. We thank you for your subs and bits on Twitch, and super you're welcome to you YouTube viewers.
You can watch this in the future.
Yes.
In fact, that's the only way you can watch this.
Yes. I mean, I was already upset enough this morning just thinking about how much work we as human beings use turning energy into just photons. For no other reason than it just makes shit glow. It's upsetting. So yeah, ride those photons into the future and look at them with your future eye holes.
This is what humans looked like in the year 2000.
We're sorry.
I'm in between them. Help me. I should not have sat here specifically.
Well, you're sitting there because you are. Well, what are you doing today, Jacob?
Well, I'm painting. I'm going to be painting. I'm going to attempt to. We have what, 2 hours or so, thereabouts?
2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours?
Depending
Cool.
on vibe.
Yeah.
Excellent. I am going to attempt to batch paint an entire Sororitas kill team from Warhammer 40k.
Ambitious.
Ooh.
And I believe you. I believe you can do it.
Yeah.
I think I could do it. I think I've got all my
Sisters
paints.
models are so cool.
They are so rad.
Absolutely.
So I got all my things. I got that. I got all my stuffs.
Nice.
There we go. And I have enough, like I did test, so by the time I'm done going through and painting one color, they should be dry and I should be able to go back down the line.
So you have a tested plan here then.
Not a tested plan, a sort of thought out plan.
Good enough.
A sort of thought out plan.
Now, do you have a color scheme in mind?
Yes.
Is it like a custom thing or a particular faction?
Well, I'm putting together kind of my own order so that I can sort of add. Generally, when I paint, and I'm not that experienced or anything. Generally, when I paint, I like to put like a little splash of color on, like, because I like things to be canon. I like it to fit within the universe, but I still want to put my own little spin on it. But it still has to make sense within the continuity of the like. I do a lot of writing for tabletop and video games. I write in shared universes, and I love continuity. I have loved continuity since I was a kid. Like when an episode of Sailor Moon was out of order, that I used to get up early to watch, and like that used to piss me right off. So I think they might go with a little bit of blue. Or, I'm not sure yet, actually. I might just do, like, straight over the plate because their color palette is already fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go with the helmeted heads or the ones with the bob haircut?
Helmeted heads, except for the leader, which has the bob haircut. No, which actually has... Yeah, the classic Sororitas, but they don't actually have the haircut. They've got a hood.
Hood, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So they've got a hood. Here is where?
Yep.
Yep. So
Very
that's
nice.
Such good models.
that's the leader.
Yeah.
Love that.
The classic Space Marine move of the ones in command aren't wearing helmets for some reason.
Yes. The rest of them, though, have helmets. Boop.
I love their salets.
What's that?
It's the helmet style.
Oh, the helmet style. Okay.
Yeah, it's like what's it called? Gothic armor. It's like you would have the
Makes sense.
face and throat protection, and then a helmet with a single slit.
Oh, S-A-L-L. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard it pronounced.
Oh, I mean, like, I don't know. I always thought it was sallet because it's like an Italian style, but I think it's probably also pronounced salad.
It's one of those words that I've only ever read and collected as armor in many MMOs, especially Final Fantasy XIV.
Nice.
So not at all related to the phrase Sally Forth, which would be completely wrong there. If you were to put your Sally down and Sally Forth.
It could be, actually.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm going to
Yeah.
have to look that up.
Oh, no.
What are you doing?
I'm painting a single man.
Ah.
I have one Space Marine left to paint for my, left to do the edge highlighting on for my Phobos Strike team to give me a 10 Marine roster. Like in Kill Team, you have your roster is like 20 models,
Yeah.
and then at one of the first stages of playing the game is selecting which models you want to bring. So I'm trying to fill up a roster. And this is just one dude that I'm going to be working on for the, I've decided to call them the Sun Eaters, because I think Space Marines work quite well when you remember that they are essentially like child soldiers. So they kind of work well when they have names that a 14-year-old would think sound scary.
Yeah? That tracks.
El Funko asked, is this my team for the upcoming league? No. My team for the upcoming I have 3 kill teams. I have a Orc Commandos, I have the Sororitas here, and then I have Stev. I'm going to be using Stev, who is my other Orc Greenskin team, which is mostly Grots. And because I play tested all of them, and they were the most fun to play. Straight up. Like, they were just the most fun for me. Yeah, so, and I'm going to try to make a new Stev video before the league
Oh,
starts.
fantastic.
Have you gotten or have you seen the Red Gobbo miniature for this year? Every year, Games Workshop puts out like a Christmas miniature.
No,
Right.
you are telling me something very dangerous.
Oh, sorry.
Please finish telling me.
Okay, it's actually like it's a little diorama of a grot dressed
No.
as Santa Claus,
Oh,
but he's like the Red Gobbo is a recurring character.
I read the books.
Yeah.
I read the Red Gobbo. Oh no. I have to look at this right now. Oh, Cameron, what the?
I recall the Red Gobbo used to be more of a communist figure.
Yep. Yeah, he's originally from Gorka Morka, which was orcs doing Mad Max.
Max.
Is it
Yeah.
this guy?
Yeah. Or wait, is that last year's or this
That's
year's?
last year's, I believe.
Yeah. This one has a little rooftop.
Oh no. There's a sweater. Oh
A
no!
Red Gobbo sweater that's just a sweater?
Warhammer commemorative series. What? No. Cameron, you can't tell me these things. Cameron!
I'm sorry.
No! It looks so great! Oh no! No! Cameron!
So how long are they available for, Cameron?
Until they run out, probably.
Okay.
All right, good. That's probably for the best.
And then now, Ian,
Yes.
just before we started, you were very optimistic about that you might be able to finish this build today.
yeah, I was thinking that.
I'm noticing a lot of sprues.
There are still a lot of sprues coming out of this box, but thankfully, the number of parts on each sprue is a lot less than they used to be.
Okay.
So I'm still holding on to my thought. However, this has dropped from the... It was taken down from up high on set sometime between the end of the last episode and the beginning of Desert Bus, and then was put back up and taped to the top.
Oh. Did it sustain some battle damage?
Well, that's what the box kind of tells me in this corner right here.
Oh no.
Being a little bit
I guess that's why.
crunched up.
That's why it got taped there when it went back up.
So I'm gonna have to take a couple seconds here and figure out which parts have become unstuck from where they were supposed to be.
Oh no, Ian.
Yeah, there was a lot going on with this model. Just a lot.
What?
So,
Is it a snap together guy?
it is, yeah. Snap
Okay.
fit.
That.
But it does come with a water slide decal sheet, so that's something. It's kind of impressive, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, no, this have I told you about my tribulations with the sprues on this, Jacob?
No.
Because
First off, what's a sprue?
so this is a sprue.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I know what that is. Thank you.
So you'll note that they have a few different numbers. There's E. We've got D.
E is definitely a number.
Yeah, Z is definitely a letter that they go up to.
So yeah, but what happens when you have more than 26 sprues?
Yeah. Well, then you gotta make some choices. Now, where's the one that I hate that caused me so much grief? Okay, we've gotten rid of the griefy one. It looks like, but yeah.
Buddy.
What's this sprue called?
Well, that's definitely katakana.
Yeah, sure is.
Yep.
And you know the katakana for A?
Yeah, I was about to say that's yeah.
Yeah, well,
A, yeah.
yeah. A looks a lot like H when it's sideways in A.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
When you're hunting for sprues and you're going through things and you're saying to yourself, A2, I need A2, A2. And you go through all the sprues and you forget whether or not you're looking for Roman A or katakana
kind of A.
And this has been my life for months.
No.
It's like, this is not that hard a problem to solve. Like you
bear.
use double letters or you use
Yeah.
numbers, or there's so many ways this could have been solved.
Why use one alphabet when you have three?
Yeah, it's like using like Unicode in like a URL to mess around and make people think that they're going to a website they're not going to.
This is literally OT2.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Go with God.
That's all I have here. Wait, no, God's dead. This is during the dinosaur times.
All right. What are we doing?
The robot dinosaur times,
Yes. Which
was I don't know if that was before or after the real dinosaur
even
times.
more godless.
Oh no. Huh.
What have you discovered?
Individual rivets on the capes.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. They all have like the you can button up the.
Yeah. There's a lot of buttons. That's a lot of buttons. Why don't you warn me about this, Cam?
Malice.
It's fair. That's a
Solid.
good reason. That's a good reason.
Really, honestly, why I do anything in the morning.
Just spite.
If it makes you feel better, the sororitas sister probably when she puts on the cape is like, oh, so many buttons.
Yeah, just leave it. That's why most of them are just like the capes in the bottom are just open. All right. Well, that's
Especially since they're wearing like huge power gauntlets.
boy.
It probably really sucks to try to button them up.
And they probably have like novitiates to do it for them.
Right.
You definitely want that.
Some sort of horrible like half dead monster skull probe thing that just comes and buttons up their stuff. Because everything in the 40K universe has to be as horrible as possible.
It is the appeal.
Right, servitors.
Oh boy. I think I've got the right parts. We've hit that stage again where Ian's forgotten where in the build process he was.
All right, chat. This is your time to shine.
Yeah. Pull up that thing I told you to take last time, saying, "Hey, Ian, you were this far and no further."
Sorry, there's something about the little set of feet that's on the ground behind you.
Just down. That's where Gamera is originally or eventually going to end up. Originally? Eventually. Okay. I think
No, all right. Great.
I've got everything.
It's just so much red.
They're really nice cats.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right. Here's hoping that we didn't get to Q6 yet.
Oh no. Also, for those of us watching from the States, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy American Thanksgiving to you all.
Although for you, I suppose it's just Thanksgiving.
For me, it was Thursday.
No, I'm Canadian now. I live in Canada. I pretty much just celebrate the one.
Where, oh where, did my little brush go? Oh where can it be? Do, 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 do.
All right, I have figured out where all the loose parts go so far. Now, here's hoping that I didn't have any loose parts that disappeared in the meantime into the box, which can happen.
I think I need a paper towel. Yes. Yes. I must fetch it.
Yes, in the kitchen.
Yes. The kitchen.
That's where it'll be.
Paper towel time.
Ooh, or the
Yes.
hidden bathroom might have some as well here.
Oh no, too late.
I've discovered a cap. Something that looks like a nut that definitely covers something, and I don't know where it came from.
Uh-oh.
And I'm wondering if it might be one of those pieces that gets covered over by another piece, just because it'll look cooler that way. But I have no way of knowing. So we'll just have to... Oh, right. I forgot about that piece. This is where the tiny little crystal ball lives. Let's put that back. Uh-oh. Never a phrase you want to hear. I'm putting together a snap fit model. I mean, really, any time in your life. O should always be followed with, "You're not in trouble."
I have an extra nut and I don't know where it goes. Is not what you want, you know, the guy who's just assembled the 500-foot tall robot that you're going to be stomping into battle with.
That's why it's very important to always know where your nut is going.
That's definitely one of the prime things to be aware of. Okay, there we go. Back in, locked up. We'll deal with you later. Now, to find sprue Q. Oh. I can't even remember which color it is. OUESV PCDIEBQ. There we go. It's the silver one. Oh, it's been a while, but I'm excited to get back to using the God hands on this model. I've been building with Heather, who's been doing her Sakura Hatsune Miku build.
Oh, cool.
And, letting her use the God hands for her first build. You know, just to get her hooked on the idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She will never be able to go back now.
And did that with the first thing I did to Graham, too, during a short Gunpla relay during Desert Bus. Giving him 2 sprues to say, "Here, cut this with this thing. Notice how terrible that feels? Now try this."
Jacob's on beer.
Ooh.
Oh, right.
What you get?
Stout. It's the only thing that has like the least amount of carbonation
yes.
in it. Yeah, so it doesn't just murder me.
Ooh, I should. Is it beer 30?
I mean, almost exactly.
It's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving somewhere.
I don't know if that actually justifies it, whatever you're looking for, but you know. I gave it a shot, man. The rest is up to you.
Right. D, 9, and 10. Where's D? Show me D. There we go. Again, the line asks, hey Ian, is the SPN 120 the only God Hand I need for a beginner? Yeah?
Wait, there are different god hands?
Yeah, they have a couple of different like versions of them. There's like a $40 one, there's a $100 one, and then there's one that is for use on clear plastic only.
I mean, really, the answer I would give is whatever single blade nipper you can find for the amount that you're willing to pay for it is exactly what you'll need.
Yeah.
Nipper.
Just be sure to get something specific. If many gunpla kits come with, well, many model kits come with etched brass for like extremely highly detailed parts. Just be sure to never ever use your god hand on those.
Yep. Only on the soft plastics.
Yep.
It's like having, like the fabric scissors and the regular scissors.
Yeah.
That is exactly that.
Yeah, I made that mistake once as a kid.
If I saw someone stripping wires with my god hand, I would have words.
I would have word. Die.
Stop.
So when we go to Japan, we're all getting our god hands sharpened,
Oh,
right?
this first thing we do is we stick them in the in the post, and then we pick them up on the way out.
Please don't tease. Please don't tease.
Hey Cam, what did you do in Japan? I bought a rail pass and I just rode on trains for 2 weeks.
I mean, I would do that.
It's better if you buy separate rail passes.
Individual ones?
Yeah. Yep.
The one I'd recommend if you want to just ride for 2 weeks, I would recommend the we're too old for that now.
Yep.
The Seishun Ju Hachikipu, or the Youthful 18 ticket, which gives you 18 days of travel on anything below the Shinkansen level.
Oh.
So if you, like me, want to take the slow train, the local service
Yeah.
from Niigata all the way to Tokyo and see some absolutely god-tier vistas as you do it.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. That's what the mat's for.
Yeah, I did. Acrylic paint will just like scrape off of it.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah,
Now, if you get some
acrylic
on-
paint is very like,
Very forgiving.
yeah.
Now, if you get some on the actual tabletop,
Again, we can deal with that, but that's less, it looks less good.
oop, oop.
Nothing. What?
So I take it, Jacob, you've got a plan of attack here on these.
I do. All of the red. And then the black. And then the gun.
I mean, to be honest, that actually sounds like a Space Marine plan of attack. All the red, then the black, then the gun.
Gun.
Oh, yes.
I think I am about prepared for my Warhammer hyperfixation to come to a close.
Oh.
Which, like, I enjoy the game. I like the setting. I like the lore. I'm just like, this is clearly operating in the space of a hyperfixation. And I think I could, move on. I'm prepared to move on.
How long has it been going?
This one? I don't know, how long have we been playing for?
Ooh, just over a year, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, this phase of it. You weren't
Yeah.
talking about like, oh, I see. No,
Don't worry.
I'm still listening to Warhammer 40K podcast. I cannot get enough of Oculus Imperia.
Okay.
Cannot.
I've just been listening to like audiobooks again because they've got a couple of narrators who are quite good, and they really like. I think Games Workshop has a stable of VAs that they keep around. for audiobook work.
They must.
And some of them just like really like get in there, right? You can tell like they have a visceral love of it, like the Night Lord's books. the narrator really loves doing the voices. Oh yeah, we've been talking about Warcry. I called dibs on the Chameleon Skink warband.
Say that one more time.
The Chameleon Skinks. You know, the lizard men? The
Was the
are the
second
living dead.
skinks? Thank you,
Skinks.
thank you, thank you. What I heard was the chameleons kinks,
Oh.
and I was like, that's interesting, and I would like to see those minis very soon. Just
It's, it's like, sure, we're the, stab you in the face with giant spikes clan, but those guys, the chameleon kinks, those guys are weird.
yeah, just an entire war band of the lusty Argosian maid.
There
It's,
will be just
that's a Skyrim joke.
Warhammer is kind of interesting in that it is extremely sexless.
It is, yeah.
which makes the audiobooks a lot easier to deal with then. I love me a good fully cast audiobook. It's nice to have separation of the characters, especially when you get into situations like you have when Cory Doctorow likes to read his own audiobooks and you have to hear him read the sex scenes aloud, and it's...
Who's that?
Cory Doctorow, who is he used to write for Boing Boing, and is a large part of the copyleft and copy fighter movement online.
It's also a fairly successful science fiction author.
Yes.
And I guess, yeah, so successful enough to have an audiobook, but not so successful to have a professional voice actor do the audiobook.
Well, he also does refuse to let his publisher sell his books to Audible because of DRM specifically.
I suppose that makes sense, yeah.
Oh, this is poopy.
Maybe I should have painted this before I put it on the base.
Oh, one more sprue down.
Hey.
Goodbye, D. Let's all double check together. Is this clean plate club worthy?
It is.
Great.
Hey.
Sometimes there's that thing where you're like, is this bit a sprue, or is this flashing or a sprue, or is this just a very small antenna?
Will I need this later?
How are you supposed to paint in there? How paint inside? How paint inside?
Good.
It's challenging.
With much difficulty.
Yeah. Use your painting handle for one. It'll help you
I
turn it around and use it upside down.
I attempted to, and then it was getting in the way.
Oh, really?
It was.
Okay.
Well, I at least I found it. I'll give it another shot on your advice.
Like, remember, you don't have to hold it like this all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
You can do like this as
Yep.
well.
Pretend like you want to stab somebody with your miniature. Cha! Ice pick grip.
We're trying to keep this PG-13, right?
Relatively.
Fine. Very well.
Thank you.
Very well.
Ooh, assembly.
Get the... How in the sweet mabippy?
What are you looking at here?
Huh? Like in there.
Oh, in there.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah, I'm glad that I decided to paint the outside stuff first.
I remember these because I built a squad of them. You kind of want to not assemble them
Yeah,
all the way.
You got 2 entry points into there, but a lot of that is going to be in heavy shadow too, so you may be able to just get away with saying, maybe we don't look there.
But I'll know, Ian.
I know
Yeah.
you'll know. I know
I'll
you'll
know.
know.
And now
But
they'll
I'll
know.
know. Nope, this has to happen.
Okay.
Aha!
Aha. Yes. I figured it out.
Just gotta get a little sloppy with it. There we go. That's cool. I will. Oh, yes. Okay, there we are. So I think my plan to paint all of them might have been too ambitious. I think I'm going to aim for 4 and call it good.
No plan is set in stone.
What the?
Funko says, get a brush full of a dark shade like Nuln oil and just douse the underside of the legs in cloaks because it looked like shadow.
That got my shader right here. Liquid skill. So I've got the Seraphim Sepia, and I've got Nuln oil right here. So we will just do our best.
Oh, yes.
No painting plan survives contact with a fully assembled mini.
With the N mini.
I didn't say that specifically.
Yes. Painting.
94, complete.
Hey, good job.
Step 95, in which we need parts 09 and 05. Not the letter O, the this O.
Oh. Oh, oh, oh.
Ooh, and then we'll need a polycap. So we're looking at
Him what I got.
5 and 9. 2 of each.
Read my poker face. He got to love nobody.
That was the first song I parodied and sent to Loading Ready Run's Desert Bus for Hope marathon way back during Desert Bus 3.
Ooh.
What was the base of the parody?
Desert Bus, Desert Bus.
Ah, very good.
I wanna drive it like in Penn and Teller's game.
Ah,
Smoking mirrors, something else is driving you insane. I love it.
I am. You know what? I'm impressed. I'm going to say impressed because I'm not going to say surprised that you remember that.
The first song I remember you doing at Desert Bus was the Wrecking Ball as Skeletor.
Yes,
That was a definite watershed moment, I think.
that was 2 years later. I believe I showed up day of and just went straight into this song that I did not know the source material for. Look, if someone, Ray, if someone asks you if you can do Wrecking Ball as Skeletor, you say yes.
Get in there. Good.
Polycap.
Gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the people may find out that they didn't want that, but that's their fault.
That's the spirit, Paul.
We all have to learn together. PCC. Where are you, PCC?
Okay, that is armor. Okay, that's cloth.
Right.
Yes. Good.
Oh, wow. 4 sprues done in the course of 2 steps.
Nice job.
It's almost like we're coming to the end of this particular model. I don't know if I've finalized it on air yet, but I am reasonably sure that I'm not going to be painting this as as part of the Tinker Tailor exercise. We'll put the decals on and we'll give it a nice matte coat afterwards. But too fiddly to complete the painting.
'Cause you sort of have to take it all the way apart again. Don't you?
That too, yes, and then separate the colors and. Yeah. I mean, technically, I wouldn't have to take it all apart. Pieces like this one that I'm working on right now here, where it's two pieces of the same color meeting together, might be better served by keeping it as one piece during painting.
Right.
But we would want to mask out the polycap area. Oh, ooh, hey! I finally get to find out where Thruster Ooh goes.
PG-13. PG-13, Jacob. PG-13. Keep it together,
Today we find out where Thruster Ooh goes. And let me tell you, it's not where you think.
Things that make you go, ooh.
Oh, I need to make 4 of these. So that's with 16 and 16, and 13 and 13.
Yes. Good.
Nice.
Good. We paint. Yes. Yes.
I love with that voice. It sounds like one of your goblin stevs is painting his own set of Warhammer miniatures.
That's right. That's it all, boys. So if we're going to do a goblin voice, it's probably going to be like this. Just painting the minis, just doing what we can. It's very nice. Here you go, there's one. And you, my little person there. Okay, yes. Now we paint some more. Okay. Yes.
That red is really nice.
That red is really nice. It is Mephiston red. PG-13, Jacob. PG-13.
Very, and it's got like really nice clean coverage.
Oh, thank you. Clean coverage is what I'm going for. Again,
Clean
PG-13.
coverage, clean athlete.
I don't think at any point in my life I have ever been described as an athlete. I LARPed for a while, but that doesn't really count. Like boffer sorts don't really count.
Can get pretty strenuous.
Oh, it absolutely can, but nobody's going to like look at a field full of people with boffer weapons going like, one, or magic, and be like, look at those athletes training hard.
Do you remember the X-Files? I mean, you must, right?
Yes, yeah. Sorry, I locked up because I was like, that, of course.
Yeah, the episode, oh God, something from outer space. Something Chung's from outer space. The one where the author is doing the research about Mulder and Scully and interviewing people. And he interviews that one kid who met Mulder, who is like, well, I used to play a lot of D&D, so I know a thing or two about courage.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Ooh, wow.
Oh. Mwah.
Josie Chung's from outer space. And his line delivery is so good.
That's delightful.
I actually really liked in the recent Hawkeye Disney Plus series, which was like one of the better Marvel Disney Plus series they've done. But there's a whole sort of subplot with LARPers, and
that was fantastic.
that treats it really, and they're actually like help him out a lot and like know how to make a really cool costume for him.
Yep.
It's like, I mean, realistically, if you're going to go to somebody to get a costume, that's probably not a bad place to go.
Yeah, especially one that's not going to overheat on you and is easy to move in.
Okay. Close. Shake.
Right, and they're all like, they're like EMTs and firefighters, and they're It's like, this isn't our life. This is just a fun thing we do. It's great.
No. Open. Stay. Stay. Good.
Nice.
Glorious little paint pot vomiting blood.
Oh, that does look good.
Wait, does that one, you have to paint that one?
No, this one I believe is meant to be displayed just with the plastic itself. But I've come to really like the look of a good plastic model once you put some paint onto it and give it the various coatings and give it a bit of shading.
So you'll take that and like do shading and stuff on it? Like,
Well, not this one. But if this were to be one I would paint, I would build it up like this, put it together, have a look at how it looks, examine the seam lines and whether there's things that need to be cleaned up, and then
You have to be like, you got to be like really committed to the model to do the sort of assemble it and then disassemble it and then paint it and then reassemble. Like it's a whole lot of work.
This is a lovely little, it's been a fun build, and it's going to make a lovely artifact for the set, but not my first choice in what I'd like to display in my own home.
Get. Paint.
Ian's using the same technique as James does, which is he enjoys building Lego, but he doesn't have any room for it at his house, so he builds it and then just leaves it here.
Yeah, I brought in the Nightingale to show off at least once, and then I took it home immediately that day. It was actually quite nice because we had one to give away on Night Watch when I was during
One of
Desert
the
Bus.
Nightingales.
Yeah, specifically. I thought, well, this is a great idea. Let's bring in an example of what this can look like if you're willing to put way too much time into it.
Ooh.
Good. Yes.
But I'm currently at home working on a master grade ball, version KA. And it got pushed to the side as I was prepping for Desert Bus and building the button for that.
It's a nice kit.
It really is. And unfortunately, I started at exactly the same time Matt did. And so I've been... He did a really good job on his.
He did.
And so it was a bit of a... it took some of the wind out of my sail. It's like, oh, well, this looks great. And I am currently on the priming stage.
well, I'm glad you've finally gotten skilled enough to put balls to the side. I hear you have trouble with that sometimes.
Yep. Yep. It's, oh. Z and oo. So I need oo1. Oh, I need to do 4 of these again. Oo1. Snippy. Snippy. Snippy.
Ian Horner, Undercover Moyle.
I mean, I'd like to think that if I was undercover, I wouldn't be talking nearly so much about it. Given my... what I'm saying, probably closer to Sesame Street Moyle. But again, you need the fabric scissors then.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ernie? Ernie, right?
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Bert would know.
And for some reason, Bert absolutely not, and I think it's his turtleneck.
Yeah.
Z9 is what we're looking for.
Expertly delivered.
It's not often I get to talk about the personal hygiene of Muppets, but you know what? I'll take the opportunity when it comes.
Oh, man. Oh. That was very good, man. Oh, that was very good. Oh, Lord. Oh.
I do not want to see that particular show Bible by, Jim Henson, though. You know, specifying things.
I mean, in this case, it'd more be like a show Torah.
It's a good point, yes.
Yeah.
Just was it Disney who acquired the Muppets eventually?
HBO? Oh, yeah, Disney for
Yeah,
most of
Disney.
the Muppets.
Right. Do you
HBO
think Bob
for-
Iger just like came into the studio one day like ranting and raving about how nowhere in the show Bible does it say whether Bert's been cut?
Somebody's got to know.
Is it you? Just show me Bert's. Like,
I'm just an intern. What was that about HBO?
Oh, I believe HBO has the specifically Sesame Street.
Right, where it's
Oh,
opposed to the Muppets. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're and Apple TV does Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, so I guess it's really spread about.
Yeah, the main sort of properties are separated out.
I think Disney has the overall property and then licenses it out.
That
Yeah,
makes
like
that
Disney.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
Disney has all the actual like Muppet Show and
The IP,
and
yeah,
all those
because
things.
they bought Henson Studios
Just my-
straight up, I believe.
My question was going to be specifically for the crossover Muppets, like say
Kermit
Kermit. Yeah,
and Robin.
where do they
right.
officially live?
because we got that the Black Crystal like prequel series, which they did like one season of and was pretty decent.
Which is on
right?
Netflix, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was it on Netflix?
I,
I remember like watching it and thinking, oh, this is. If I was 9, this would rule.
I did hear it was good. Although, I mean, it probably, saying got one season and got canceled, which is obviously is frustrating. But I would imagine it probably fell into the same trap as the original Dark Crystal, is that it's super cool, but also like an incredibly expensive way of doing that particular type of
Yeah.
story. Which is, I mean, that's part of the point of the operation, but still.
I think your love of it also has a lot to do with the your proximity temporally to the original Black Crystal. Not one of those things that I'm sure a lot of people just picked up on a whim of. The Black Crystal puppets, you say? This seems like viewing for tonight. Sight unseen.
Now, I mean, I see, the people in the chat being like, well, that's, Netflix for you. One season and canceled. I submit to you that a lot of the Netflix and the streaming services get a lot of flack for like the one season canceled thing. I would submit that the vast majority of those shows wouldn't have gotten one season anywhere else.
Yep.
Like, there's a reason why the Dark Crystal got one season on Netflix. Now, whatever, 20 years later from the movie. Nobody else was going to make that series.
No.
So,
Yeah, nobody wanted to make a Willow TV series.
I mean, apparently Disney didn't either, because they got rid of it after like 6 months, wasn't it?
We tried.
Oh, right, it's gone.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, no.
Not even. I'm not particularly interested in the Willow TV series, but just the idea of services taking their own
Yeah,
properties
memory
off.
holding, things like that.
Where when it's like, okay, I get that like the licensing expired for it. Sure, okay, you have to take it off. But things that you own, taking them off just because you don't want to have them there anymore. That's ugh.
I feel that like when that happens, if they do it for the tax write-off, then that should just be public domain. Like, hey,
Like
you mean
you-
we paid for it?
It's like you've said, you've proposed that this has no value. Therefore, you should be able to just release it.
And that's why the service of internet ne'er-do-wells is so important. Keeping those trucks running all across the country for abandoned IP to fall off of.
Keep those trucks running and those back doors of the trucks poorly latched.
Mm-hmm. Keep circulating the tapes, quotation marks.
Yes.
Yeah, it's especially bad with these streaming services where you don't even get that initial physical release to fall back on.
Yeah, it can just disappear completely.
Yeah. Hey, there we go.
That reminds me, I've got to finish Owl House.
Yeah, that could very quickly get on the chopping block.
Gotta finish which?
Owl House.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to watch the last 2 movies. I am currently watching Blue-Eyed Samurai, and it is sublime. It's really good.
Good. Are either of you currently engaged in Pluto?
No.
Oh, okay. Especially for you, Cameron, I would highly recommend it.
What is it?
It's an Urasawa novel. A guy who did Monster. And,
Oh, okay.
but he's retelling the arc of Astro Boy that was the world's strongest robot. You know, the one with Common Turk / Pluto.
Oh,
And instead of following Astro directly all the time, you're mainly following a German detective robot who is trying to figure out what's going on with this other robot who is able to kill a human being somehow.
interesting.
Yeah, it's a fascinating and absolutely gorgeous series. 8 episodes and one and done.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love those.
Corey and I are slow rolling it. Oh yes, and the episodes are 45 minutes to an hour, so they've got time to breathe as a mystery as well.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess more like an OAV, but they did drop it all at once. So we're portioning it out for good times.
I am currently voraciously reading. I'm currently reading the 5th season. I was showing Cameron. Cameron had said he had read the whole series, which makes me very hopeful, because you seem like the kind of person where if one book doesn't strike you, you will just put it in the dumpster.
I mean, I'm a completionist, and I have a lot of guilt about not finishing books. But yeah, no, I mean, I enjoyed them. I went out and got them all. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting series.
I am very much enjoying it, while I look for my next book with stabby lesbians in it. Have you read The Locked Tomb?
Yeah, I read the first one. My partner has picked up all the other ones and really liked them.
Cannot recommend enough. Very, very cerebral. And also really dumb. But great.
Sometimes I just need something real dumb.
I remember really liking in the first book, someone asks Gideon, they're having one of those, planning sessions. And well, Gideon, do you have any thoughts? You've been pretty quiet this whole time. Do you have any thoughts? And she just cracks her shoulders and says, thoughts?
Yeah. Yep. Big himbo energy from Gideon.
Wonder who those are for.
You have any thoughts? Try not to.
Oh, just freaking.
Ah, more nooks and crannies than an English muffin.
But if you like those, you might also like. Oh God, what's his name? He did a bunch of writing. The Trader Baru Cormorant is the first one. Seth Dickinson.
Seth Dickinson. Okay. I will try and remember that. The likelihood is very low. If you could remind me after we're done,
Okay.
if that happens. If not, I will try to go to the VOD and pick it back up.
All right.
Excuse me.
All right, chat. When we're done, when we're about to go offline, remind Jacob.
Well, I'm looking for more book recommendations with. There was one somebody during Desert Bus suggested a book, Stabby Lesbians, Enemies Still Lovers arc. I have to go back and try to find it. Use secret VST tech. There were some book recommendations during Desert Bus that I completely lost because, Desert Bus. And I think you put it very succinctly one time where you don't form memories during Desert Bus. And same.
Yeah, write it down immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a long-standing tradition. Is that if you say or do something during Desert Bus and then somebody calls you out on it later, they're like, you told me that or you did that. It doesn't count.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sure I did.
If you said something during Desert Bus, no, you didn't.
Even if there is extensive video evidence of you doing that thing.
Yeah, I'm just going to need to known oil a lot of this because there are just some impossible freaking angles.
Okay, get in there.
Nope. Okay.
You need like a one hair thick brush or something to get in the.
Well, I have a double knot. But. Oh. Just different fineness of brushes.
May I?
Not N-O-T, not K-N-O-T.
Oh, neat. Why is it called a double knot?
0, 0.
Oh!
Yeah.
Ah, that's what you were saying. Ah, very cool. There you are, sir. Thank you.
For a half second, you had me thinking that you had some sort of a brush that was literally
Knotted,
twice.
yeah. Yep.
Oh.
That's where my brain went for a second, and I was like, what the?
That somehow this was a way of adding paint easier, I guess.
One hair thick brushes don't really work that well because they don't hold any paint.
All right. Is it more important to get all of the red to get as far as I can on all of them, or try to finish 4?
I would try to finish 1.
But if you want to try do a 4 thing, I would suggest getting the red paint on, and then move it, and then complete one of the 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's a good way to do it.
I personally find that it's from a sort of momentum point of view, it's nice to have like one at least one or a few sort of complete.
Yeah.
You can sort of go rather than a bunch sort of half complete.
Also, if you run into any other surprises,
Even-
you'll know for the other ones.
Even if
True.
it is technically less efficient.
This one.
Painting as a show is unfortunately
This one.
not nearly as efficient as just doing it for yourself.
This one.
Wait, we're on a show? What's up?
Yeah, sorry. There's some people here. Yeah, they're all at home right now, looking at us. Some of them are talking, but not with their mouths.
Oh no.
Yeah, I try not to encourage them.
It's okay. Just paint like there aren't 400 people watching.
Paint like no one's watching.
If I didn't already shower, I would have. Just.
Dance like you're breaking in front of the Pope.
Like breakdancing?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
all right.
one of my favorite images in the past few years.
I like the one of they played Megalovania.
Yes.
Yeah.
And had the jugglers.
Yeah.
It was,
Is this some sort of exhibition that the Pope went to?
Yep. Oh no, it happened in the Vatican, in the reception room, with that huge, I want to say copper wall art, of just all of the bodies reaching towards God.
Oh, Ex Nihilo?
Yeah.
This is like one of those things like they do for the royal family, where they sort of have like a bunch of people come in and a bunch of entertainers come in and do something.
Exactly, demonstrating top levels of their particular field. In which case, theirs was juggling to tunes from a very popular video game.
That is
That's
pretty
neat.
awesome.
I just like it because we have video evidence that the Pope has heard Megalovania.
Ah, no. No, Schmutz. Must get Schmutz out.
Like it's a hell of an earworm. How often do you think he's playing that back in his head?
Every time he starts his genocide run.
So Tuesday.
Is that a... I don't know what that's a reference to.
Not Homestuck.
Yeah.
Undertale.
Yes. thank you.
Undertale, thank you.
Homestuck the video game, but not with Homestuck. Oh, there's the image. Yeah.
Now I just want the Pope to have like a bone conduction headphone like secreted in his hat, so he could just be like listening to music while he's doing his
His popely duties.
popely duties, popish duties.
When he's just straight poping.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Speaking of which, is there a license-free sort of tune or music that we could play here?
Oh, oftentimes we do put something in the background. I think we can.
Would that be an unreasonable request?
I think we can definitely do that. However, what I am going to suggest is that while we look for that, Paul, how about we have ourselves a short little break where we can get up, stretch our legs, swap our fluids, show a couple ads, and maybe
How
come
long's it
back
been?
fresh.
Dear Lord, time is going by quickly.
Let's do it.
All
Sounds
right.
good. So yeah, we're going to do what I said. Don't go all the way away. More Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry after this.
We'll be back and we'll miss you.
Bye.
Welcome back to Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. We've got Cameron.
Huh?
We've got Jacob.
Hello.
We've got Ian, and we've got our project for the evening. It's hobby night. Cameron, you're still working on one guy.
Yep, I'm doing all the edge highlighting on a single homie.
Sorry, I did not want to say still as if you were somehow slow rolling this. This takes a while.
So the trick with this guy is he's like a stealth sneaky boy.
Yeah, I mean, he's wearing 1,400 pounds of power armor, and he's got a unlicensed nuclear reactor on his back.
Nah.
But, the
Sneaky.
sneaky.
As someone who runs it, stealth is not one of the keywords associated with the Space Marines, I believe.
Yeah. Usually they're, the Space Marines are a declaration of intent.
But it is tricky though to when the armor is supposed to be black,
Yes.
trying to make it look like he's not just unprimed, like a primed model.
Yes, it's tricky.
Having
so
the nuance within the black is
the
cool.
best way to do black is usually you have to edge highlight, like you have to do it the hard way.
Yep. One of my favorite effects, though, when you're doing that sort of highlighting of black, is to just use a gloss or a matte opposing what you're doing. So you'll have matte black and then gloss black against that.
Oh, really?
Ooh, that's cool.
I've never seen that.
It's like doing a UV varnish coat on a book, where you'll get that matte figure, and then sometimes you'll just get the varnish over the letters.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Oh, very neat.
And Jacob, you're working on your sisters.
Yes, I am. I actually think I'm just going to pick one of these three to just close out. I'm just going to try to fully paint one of them. So, which of these three do you think What do you think? Opinions, gentlemen?
I have a strong opinion actually on that.
Yeah?
I'm going to suggest this one here.
That one there?
'Cause
All
they
right.
seem like they have the least surprises. that we
Okay.
do.
What do you think?
This one will give you the best impression of what they will look like when completed, I think. Is that the one that you chose, Ian?
No.
No, Ian chose this one because he felt this would have the least surprises.
Okay. I mean, I think I would trust Ian on that.
All right.
Yeah,
That one's also
this
got a
one-
cybernetic arm, which is rad.
Yeah, this one also, I think is probably the easiest to access all of her robes.
Hey, what a great idea. All right, so I think
Adeptus sororitas,
the
easy
red-
access.
to the Lord.
Hey, when I said I was just about done,
Yeah?
I am one step away from final assembly on this sucker.
Ooh, neat.
And then that means we get to put very fiddly wet stickers on it, which I find is one of my favorite things. Sorry, when you were asking about painting earlier, this is what you get when you get a model kit. Usually, is you'll get
Well, that's got to go back on.
an entire paint chit system, which will also give you the breakdown of what paints you need to mix to make each particular color,
That's very cool.
and then
Sorry,
gives you the
can-
information.
Can you move that across
Yeah,
over a little
absolutely.
bit?
Let's bring that into view here.
Yes.
Did you do that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, paint chip system will give you a breakdown. This is what I heard.
Yes.
There you are.
It's very correct.
Okay. Now to the Abaddon Black.
Eh.
No, I'm sticking to the plan. I will not panel line this. Actually, I shouldn't panel line this because the panel lining will absolutely get into the cracks in this because I haven't sealed it yet. And that will cause the whole thing to just disintegrate.
Some people think getting rid of the cracks means that they've had a successful date.
Well, I mean, if you're causing them to disintegrate in the process, you're probably doing something right.
Yes. Okay.
Right side.
Okay. What was the plan for this, Jacob, before you start just going for it?
100% ham. Full acceleration.
Ah, yes, yes. Yes!
I do love the Citadel painting color system. You know, Abaddon Black.
Oh yeah, the names
Is that
are
different?
great.
Is that different than Chaos Black, or is that just the new version of Chaos? They wanted to make it more.
They've actually got like 3 different lines of paints that have different properties. So, yes, it is different.
This is like Chaos, like Abaddon Black is like more of a wash, and Chaos Black is a.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, actually.
Remember what I was...
I mean, it sounds convoluted, but they've actually come up with some pretty good products. The problem with Citadel products is not that they're bad. They're honestly quite good. It's that they're all just slightly overpriced.
Well, and their paint pots could use a little redesign.
And they,
Yes, their paint pots are bad.
yeah, I mean, they know that they've got the.
I need smaller.
They know that they've got the sort of name recognition, so they can push it a little bit.
Well, and they've got to be good enough that they will keep people coming back for them. If they're,
Right.
Which means, it's better than terrible, at least.
And I mean, I think they want, like, Games Workshop makes good quality products.
Yes.
Their rules, I think, are bad.
Yeah.
Usually, but the miniatures are really well sculpted. The hobby stuff is pretty
Very
good.
adaptable, yeah.
It's all expensive, but like their hobby products are designed to encourage you to field painted armies, because I think they recognize that when people fully paint stuff, it looks good and encourages other people to do
Yes.
the same.
And when you bring people together with painted things, it further encourages people like that.
Yeah.
And it all goes into making sure that they have, it all goes into paying rent for your local store so that you have a place to, always buy paints and play with other people who've painted their armies.
It is kind of, it is one of those fun things that the idea that like whatever 9 editions of Warhammer and hundreds of supplementary pieces of material, White Dwarf magazines, all this stuff. You know, the entire game and lore and mythos and books behind Warhammer is all just to sell the little miniatures. That's actually what the primary.
The new tabletop game that they released is pretty cool. The rules are a little convoluted. It took. All right,
So get them there.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that this. I'd said earlier that I wasn't necessarily interested in painting this Gunpla and just maybe using it for display. The other thing I considered doing, and I'm now thinking of doing it again, is harvesting some of these pieces for a kit bash. Because look at this. This looks rad.
Yeah, just those like sort of like as
That
just
looks
sort of
really
like
cool.
as just sort of like rocket nacelles.
Yeah, or maybe as wings on a gunpla to adapt it into that situation. Maybe as claws in some sort of a.
The way that I've been very impressed as you built this model. The way how dynamic it is.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about before the stream. We were talking about how there aren't very many Transformers, like model kits. But
There's
like
a few.
there's a few, but like this thing almost does like transform. Like it's not only a model kit, but you're actually building a thing that is like a move. It's not just like a static thing that you're building. It's like a whole. It's like a movable action figure.
Fully movable and posable. And now I'm worried about some of the parts that I have not assembled yet and wondering if they're just spare parts or if these are parts I have missed. Specifically Q. I feel like Q should... These silver parts here. I feel like those have to go on top of something that I'm not seeing here.
Are those the only silver parts?
Well, there's a sprue of silver parts that I've used, but these are the last 2 on the sprue.
A lot of people feel Q should go on top of Picard.
I mean, they're right.
I mean, Picard did call Q provocative.
Very true.
I think if Q had showed up in that young Picard's bed during, what was it? Tapestry? And it wasn't old Picard there, things might have gone a little bit differently.
Get the... Yeah.
It's only when I'm painting minis do I not think your stage lights are bright enough.
Yeah.
It's almost like we've got to just turn ourselves around during the painting process.
Yeah.
Face the wall. Oh, yeah. Sorry, speaking of wall facers.
Any news on the...
New trailer for the Netflix version of Three Bodies Out.
Okay.
And as I said to Corey, holy bust, they're doing it.
Okay.
They're actually doing it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed that, like the first book at least. I just also enjoy like, it's one of those sci-fi things where it's like, this is really cool and interesting. I think your fundamental premise is flawed, but everything that happens in the book is really entertaining and interesting, right? It's like, physicists find that, you know, all the instruments don't work and nothing makes sense anymore, and therefore have become depressed instead of...
So I totally know what you're talking about. I absolutely do. But like, let's just pretend that I don't.
Okay, it was a kind of actually held the same cachet in China as Game of Thrones did. A science fiction series called, I guess, Remembrance of Earth's Past is the big, like...
That's the overarching title.
Yeah, but the first book is called The Three-Body Problem. And it's about a scientist who has been called upon by a government agency to investigate the disappearance and suicides of multiple scientists.
Turns out, for whatever
Globally.
reason, physics isn't working the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Rad.
And so, yeah, you follow him around as he solves this mystery.
That sounds awesome.
It's aliens, but not
But
the
like
way, not
yeah.
the way you think.
Yeah.
It follows relativistic time, which is something I always love to see in any sort of series. So the aliens are a few hundred years away, but they do have access to higher levels of technology to keep humanity from pursuing higher levels of technology.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds rad. That sounds like a great premise.
Yeah, the second book in the series is one of my all-time favorite science fictions, just because of it does such a good job of illustrating its key theory, which is the dark forest. In that,
Well, it coined the term, right?
I can't recall if it did or not.
Like, we've always had the Fermi paradox. Well, not always. But, like, I think the dark forest solution to it is Cixin Lu's invention.
Okay, if it is,
I
then,
think.
then that would be pretty amazing. But summed up, it's that the reason we don't see anyone out in the universe is because to advertise yourself as a growing civilization is tantamount to suicide, because every civilization wants to grow, and therefore, if you have some of that rare resource in the universe, which is to say a habitable planet, someone else is going to want that eventually.
So it's a strike first kind of situation.
Or just never let yourself be seen.
Because, like, I think in the third book they talk a bit about, like, there's two kinds of societies that advertise their presence. One is the, like, naive ones.
Much like our society right now.
Yeah,
where we're-
you're naive, you're technically sophisticated.
and you assume the good in the universe.
Yeah. And then those societies, if they don't get immediately annihilated, develop into the other kind, which are the ones that are essentially indistinguishable from, like, some kind of gray goo apocalypse.
Two great lines. Listen well, cleanse well.
Right, yes.
I do kind of love the idea of, like, we're sending out whatever, the Voyager probes and stuff, and like and we're broadcasting all our all sorts of signals into space, and eventually, like, an alien comes, like, aliens come to us and are like, shut up. We're in the next star system over. They're gonna hear you.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, that's one of the... I think it's also implied that, like, the societies that come hunting for you if you make a lot of noise aren't necessarily the conquerors. They're ones who are essentially operating on that mode of, like, shh.
We're here to give you a hand. Also, can you give us a hand? But it's also suffice to say, it's some of the most interesting science fiction I've read in the past few years and have seen in the Chinese version of the television series, solely because it is not a story that's coming from a North American perspective.
Well, I've heard that it's a very kind of, like, Chinese story in that, like, everyone is out to get you, right? Like, it's very kind of like modern 21st century China in that, but also holding true to, like, China as the middle kingdom.
Yes.
That it's very, like, if Western science fiction is very kind of like or difficult to separate from the idea of colonialism and expansion, then Chinese science fiction might be very difficult to separate from, like, the idea of kind of holding your place.
Yeah. Well said.
Not like knowing your place, but being like kind of fundamentally conservative about the way that you interact with the rest of the world.
So yeah, very interesting from a science fiction perspective to see that. Especially when Star Trek is the closest sort of, I guess you could say, positive science fiction influence we have in the West.
But yeah, it was huge in China.
Oh yeah.
Right. It was kind of the same thing as Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone kind of read it.
And there was recently just a one season, I want to say 24, no, it was in the 30s. Well,
Yeah,
it wasn't,
which was, it was fine. The Tencent adaptation was,
it was fine, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it was extremely slow.
Oh, interesting. It was. I didn't realize, although I don't know why I'm surprised that Tencent does video or TV production. They do everything.
Yeah.
Saying their goal is to own 10% of everything.
That's real, right?
I don't think so, but
Okay.
that's just what their name makes me think of. And the fact that they do that thing, like they don't. I mean, they do own a lot of stuff, but they also just own like little bits of a whole bunch of companies.
stuff. Yeah. A lot of video game companies out there too.
Yeah, like the majority of big video game companies have some partial ownership from Tencent.
By Tencent, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the book has a weird VR subplot. A lot of it takes place in a video game.
Oh, neat.
But I do kind of like, I appreciate how the theme around like the main character is a materials scientist.
Yeah.
So he's very kind of like practical. He deals with like concrete things, right? He works on nanomaterials. But like, he's a character who kind of like fundamentally realizes that science has to have like physical applications, right? You're making a thing. And that's what kind of allows him to bust open this problem that has a lot of other, like a lot of theoretical scientists completely like, you know, in crisis. And then in the second book, you realize that was bad. we needed the theorists.
Yep.
There was a reason the aliens went after the theorists first.
Yeah, those are the things that end up leading to those practical.
Yeah.
But a lot of great characters in the book too. The grizzled PRC police officer. Who somehow lives through 3 centuries.
Does he?
I think he shows up in the third book at least a couple times.
Okay.
He's pretty heavily featured in the second, unless I'm completely mistaken. That goes in.
I'm mainly familiar with the second and third books by reputation. I only read the first one.
There's some very good sort of YouTube essay type sort of summary videos about Three Body Problem and also other sort of science fiction series that called was it Quinn's Ideas of
Oh
Quinn?
yeah,
or
I
something?
kind of I like his stuff. I don't always agree with him, but like he has enough thought in his videos that there's usually something there to like engage with.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
He isn't just doing like, you know, summaries. He's like talking about the ideas behind things.
Yeah.
And when I say I don't always agree with him, that's like a compliment that there is something there that you can be like, oh yes,
God,
well I
yeah.
think like I don't agree with that reading or that interpretation of it. But I'm happy to have that
Yeah,
conversation.
you've certainly made an interesting case.
Yeah.
And I feel it feels like he has sort of
He thinks about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thoughtful sort of breakdown of some of these series.
Yeah, because like so many times on YouTube, you'll like try to find a video about something that you've enjoyed, and it's like, yes, but is it realistic, and how does it stack up against an Imperial Star Destroyer Type 2, right? Like because we know the megawatt power of those turbo lasers, so we can see objectively that. And you're just like,
Yes, that's the interesting question to ask.
yeah,
there's always that thing of like when you find a new something that you're kind of interested in, but not interested enough to to read the 50 books that are required to get all the background info. You're like, okay, I'm interested in this thing. I want to learn more about it. I will now search YouTube for and figure out which one of the 30 people doing analyses figure out which narrator I like the sound of.
Yeah.
Who's got a good microphone.
Yes.
and whose videos are not, each one 4 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of what I liked about Ahsoka. Once I just had it recently pointed out to me in a Vanity Fair article, is that it does add something new to the Star Wars lore, in that this is the first time we've seen Anakin Skywalker post Jedi.
Oh, really?
What does it mean to be a Force? Well, and maybe we're not entirely certain if that is actually his Force ghosts that we see there. But yeah, what happens to a person after they've been redeemed in the afterlife in a Jedi context?
That is kind of interesting, actually. I just like Ray Winston.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, Ray Winstone kicked ass in that.
I should probably watch it then.
Who's that?
He played Titus Pullo in Rome. He's like, he plays not a Sith, not a Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know who you're talking about.
He
Yes.
has big white beard.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it, not the
The execution.
yeah. When he's talking about the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Like, I always found like the gray Jedi idea in Star Wars to be a bit fraught, because like, yeah, like I mean, you imagine those, like the Sith and Jedi as being two ways of interpreting this, the Force, and it would make sense that in any kind of like, there must be other ways of understanding those that power. But like, on one end of those, I would say that, using someone's own life force to kill them is kind of like an inherently corrupting thing.
Yeah. But
Right.
I do like that they never mentioned anything like gray Jedi. The only words spoken were, I didn't train you to be a Sith, or I didn't train you to be a Jedi. I trained you to be something different.
Yeah.
And that's... I like that.
Okay.
I think the idea of a Grey Jedi was first introduced in Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, it was a KOTOR thing.
Yeah.
Which was another fine property.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I made a giant dinosaur thing.
Cool.
Nifty.
It's got claws, and it needs to be... it needs some wood glue in some of its joints because they are very loose, but...
Ooh.
It
He's got pincers.
Yeah, it sure do make a cutting figure.
Pincers.
Once
Cutting
I-
figure.
Once I get him to a position where he can stand up on his own, there we go. Hey,
Whoa.
Tyranny.
That's very cool.
He's still got his little gun in his mouth.
Where's the cockpit?
The cockpit, if we recall, is up here.
Oh, it's inside the head.
Yeah, and it opens up in the double.
And there's actually a little dude in there.
Little guy. driving his Tyrannosaurus around. Off to get milk.
Leads
Want anything from the store?
going through the drive-through is just a real pain in the butt. He has to lean way down.
Oh god.
Yeah, how many miles per mammoth do you get?
Let me tell you, the efficiency ain't great, but the acceleration is to die for. That is no joke. You will be liquefied if you turn off the assists. All right, let's get some decals on this fun boy, shall we? I'll need new tools for that. like a
I'm
knife.
I'm hoping the decals are like all his brand deal endorsements that he has just like sprayed on the side.
I don't think we got any of those. But we do have a number of no step stickers, which are basically the. You want to make me happy? Give me a sticker or decal set that has a bunch of no steps.
Wait, what's no step?
Do not step here. It's from aircraft, usually.
Oh,
It's for the ground crew, so they know not to step on something that is either going to move or dent.
Or, yeah, it just cave in.
Yeah.
no steppy.
I need to just be led around the area with a medallion around my neck that says remove before flight. Cool. Took the Seaplay down to Seattle for the Child's Play dinner. Did not once again get selected for co-pilot seat.
Oh, I got it on the first time that I took the seaplane down. It was
Lucky.
cool.
I did, however, get to see the person who was chosen for it get dressed down by the captain.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
What?
He gestured towards one of his gauges, and the answer was, "Thank you. Do not point at my instruments."
Huh.
Wow. Wonder why. Not even point.
Yeah, I think it's just that there's probably some sort of FAA code that says you must have unobstructed view of your instruments at all times, especially in a no co-pilot situation like that. But
Wait.
that's a guess.
Do you think maybe they don't choose you because having a whatever 6'4" person in the co-pilot seat would obscure the vision?
I think it really has more to do with just weight distribution than anything else on those things.
That is a little bit concerning, you know, the idea that the weight is so sensitive that like where people are sitting.
No, that went bad.
I mean, they're small planes.
Goodbye.
I think you want them to be as stable. I would like them to be as stable as possible during the
Oh,
amount
no,
of
you're
time
good to
I'm-
go.
Really?
Yeah, listen to it.
It looked chunky.
Don't pick up the chunks.
I don't know if the mics are picking that up, but
Oh,
that sounds gnarly.
We got that.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah?
that's happy.
Okay. Sweet. Thanks, Cam.
I think I'm going to do this piece by piece. So head,
Can't.
say goodbye to body.
Goodbye.
Where did that come from?
Say goodbye to body. Oh no.
Ah, my dream.
One. So the one thing I do differently with decals that I probably shouldn't be doing, but I like doing it anyway, is using hot water.
Yes.
What does that do?
It
That
adds
just loosens them more thoroughly, faster.
a lot quicker. Yeah. Oops, need my brush too.
Do you have any softening
No,
solution?
I don't.
Oh,
But
So the idea is that the glue on these on the decals is activated by water.
yeah, it just rehydrates it.
Ah,
It dries out and
And-
sticks itself to the.
and it's much more secure than than like a sticker or something.
well, it's thinner.
That's the big thing. is,
Oh,
yeah,
thinner. So there's not like an edge to it.
Yeah.
A, not an edge, and B, they can generally you can, with some softeners, you can work them down into the crevices
Ah.
if they're over top of like a panel line or something.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to use, for my decaling, I tend to use as my tool set a brush, a toothpick, and tweezers.
If you want to get really like specific, you get out a fresh new X-Acto and you trim the glue off from around the edge of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it will usually, have the emblem or whatever it is that your like the decal is, and then around it will be a little film of glue that you can then remove.
These ones are pretty good because if there is a film around the edge, it is less than a millimeter thick.
It can be heavily dependent on manufacturer.
Oh, wait, that's the one piece I'm missing right now is a Q-tip too.
I don't know what you're talking about, Cameron. This doesn't seem like the kind of crew to get really specific.
Not quite straight.
Well, thanks for noticing.
I appreciate that. I meant to say not quite square, which you absolutely are not. Either. What do you think? That look good?
Ooh, good centering, bud.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
You want to just put it on the corner of the...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
gotta
got
take
you.
that up to-
Yep.
Thank you. Careful. Up to the corner.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. Yeah.
You said be careful,
And then you did.
and then I
Ooh.
was.
What does it say?
That says EDB BF02.
Ah.
What does that mean?
Uh,
Exercise for the viewer.
Earth Defense Burgers. Wait, there is actually writing here.
Burger Force. 2.
There is incredibly tiny writing on this in English,
Oh yeah.
and I cannot make out what it says.
Well, there's some smaller ones here if you'd like to try on those.
What? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's incredible. Here you are. Ha.
Decal printing is one of the highest resolution things I've ever come across.
I need to get some decals made for these guys, actually.
Okay, so you need some extras. Someone just messaged me yesterday about that as well. And I know Matt needs to do a set of custom decals as well.
Which Matt?
Wiggins.
Is there a... I'm presumably there are services that'll print decals, but they're probably...
It's one of the ones where it's like, this sheet of decals, will have like 60 of the emblem that you need on it. They'll send it to you for $10. We live in Canada, shipping is $35. And I'm just
Right,
like, man,
yeah.
this is depressing.
This is why before Desert Bus I got together with Matt and did a mass order for about 5 kits worth of decals for my backlog.
Yeah. Man, we should get a P.O. box in Point Roberts. Just collectively.
Well, there's lots of mail forwarding companies that do stuff like that.
To that note, I did open up a HobbyLink Japan account specifically for storing things there as well.
Or that uses Bija's system, which is he just sends it to his parents, I think.
Yes.
Although I feel like that's not scalable.
That'll work up to a certain point.
Yeah, if you need it in 6 months, Beej's parents have the hookups.
There we go. So yeah, for those unaware, earlier Cameron was asking me about if I had any setting solution. There are 2 types of fluid you can get to work with decals as well. Softening solutions and setting solutions. And the softening solutions usually are generally used as a replacement for the hot water bath for some people. I don't subscribe to that method myself, but they're also used for softening the decals up a little bit more if they do need to go to those crevices, and you just kind of paint it on over top.
Or if you're on like a saddle-shaped surface or a double curved surface to prevent them from like
Tearing,
folding.
which
Yeah.
they absolutely can and will do on you. And then the setting solution is just you paint over top of it with this setting solution, and it helps with the adhesion to the surface.
What do you know what that actually is?
Yeah, turns out they're generally
Ethyl acetate?
yeah, they're both very low or mid pH acids.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
They smell a heck of a lot like vinegar.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, you don't want, like, acetate would mess with the actual plastic.
Yes.
of it.
No. Yeah. But they're really useful if you're doing like a model kit with like a model airplane with a control panel, where the control panel has like raised detail on it, like all the gauges
So it allows you to sort of warp the decal a little bit.
Exactly. Because they're just printed on a flat sheet otherwise.
Right.
Yeah. If you're like me and you like the curvy gunplas,
Love my gunplas curvy.
I love my curvy dom. Don't at me.
Just a
Real gunplas have curves. Is that?
thick gunpla.
Oh, Jacob. Oh, the scratch.
She got the command armor.
The scratch bill. Oh, the condo versions, thick and covered with Zimmerit, just absolutely plastered.
I love how that shit didn't work.
Yeah.
What's
Actively counterproductive.
Zimmerit?
Zimmerit?
It was a ceramic concrete applique layer that the
coating.
Germans used in World War II over their tanks because they were concerned that the Red Army would use magnetic mines. Like run up
Okay.
to, like you would just be a
Yeah,
Red
run
Army
out- yeah,
soldier
just go
being
boop.
like, I'm gonna run across a field and stick a mine on a tank and then run away. And they thought that this was going to happen because it was something they were building. As it turns out, adding 8 tons of concrete to your already overloaded suspension
There's a good photograph.
is a bad idea,
Got it.
but it looks very distinctive, and they used a lot of it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bad
And
idea.
were magnetic mines not actually that big an issue?
They weren't.
Turns out,
Of course.
Turns out,
course,
shape charges is where it's at.
The German High Command, of course, goes. I mean, they're like, hey, magnetic mines aren't really an issue. And they're like, well, yeah, because we got the Zimmerit.
Yeah, we have this magnetic mine repulsion amulet.
Can you take a look at that one?
Yeah.
That one looks about dead. It looks separated.
Gotta keep it separated. Cameron, the
I didn't
human.
shake it enough.
Cameron, the human paint stirrer.
I did see this like little motorized thing.
Oh, the vortexes.
that people put their paint things on and it just shook them.
Yep.
Is that yeah?
There was,
Instagram introduced me into that.
the person who
Thank you.
enjoyed receiving one the most of my most recent memory was Iris of Ether on social when they got that for specifically for working with the Corp line model.
Nice.
Saved a lot of time
Very cool.
and a lot of arthritic pain too when you.
You shake paint from the shoulder.
You gotta get the force in.
Use your hips.
Apparently, it's something that people often have for like nail polish.
Yep.
Oh,
There's a shockingly large overlap in skill set between makeup artists and miniature painting.
skill set and
Tool set,
materials.
yeah.
Oversight, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like
painting it-
people frequently are like, LOL, you should look up makeup tutorials for information on how to do things, nerd. And I'm like, yeah, they know stuff about painting on 3D surfaces
Hey,
and how to deal with light.
You want a good portable holder for your paints and tools? Check out some of the nail painting bags.
Yep, and also they have really good makeup brushes are really good dry brushes.
Oh God, yeah, the big kabuki ones especially.
Yeah, well, and also because they're very soft since
Yeah.
I've used them on the skin. But like makeup artists, like your primary concern is highlighting and like reducing and enhancing things, right? Which is fundamentally what miniature painters are trying to do.
I mean, doing really some of the really amazing complex nail art. I mean, a nail is very similar to just like the shoulder pad of a space marine,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Essentially the same shape. But yeah, I bought my first 3 bottles of nail polish working on the button this year. Because it turns out the only thing that I could find that would adhere to a shiny, soft rubber was a couple pots of nail polish. And I needed to paint over some unlock buttons.
The only thing I would suggest that nail polish people could learn from model painters is how to use a good primer. Because nail polish is, honestly, it's kind of toxic. It's like you're painting your nails and you just watch it like reabsorb into your bloodstream. Because it has to dry quickly, right?
That makes sense.
Like your nail polish, you want to kind of like be dry within minutes. Otherwise, you're not doing any useful work for 12 hours.
Well, unless you're using a UV cured nail polish.
Yeah, which you don't want to use on your skin.
Good point. Yes. Yeah. One other aspect of that. Yeah, though aren't a lot of primers don't they have some sort of a acid to them as well to allow them to adhere and etch the surface?
Yeah, well, like plastic primer will
okay.
like bind to the surface, and what you're really trying to do with that is that you want a or at least the kind of primers that I like are semi-porous, and you're just kind of like dyeing the primer rather than applying layers of paint.
Yes. Yeah, I know that the Vallejo I like to use as a primer generally comes peels right off if you do something wrong. So.
Yeah. That's the stuff that I kind of like try to avoid because these are playing pieces, right?
Right.
They have to be able to stand up to handling. And honestly, handling by people it's a tall order, right? Our
very
skin
much
is
is.
honestly, the skin oils are kind of acidic.
Oh, God, look at your keyboard, yeah.
Yeah, look at your keyboard. Look at an old doorknob in a building.
Yeah. Look at your challenge coin if you've got one and have touched it in the wrong way. Probably got a really good fingerprint on it.
I always talk about my my useless superpower is very, very slightly acidic ears.
Just like eat through your glasses?
Yeah, the like arm bit that goes over the ears. I always it always like the plastic and rubber starts to degrade very quickly.
Yep.
5. God, where is that actually attached?
Yes, good.
This neck is difficult to process.
Does it have a neck?
Yes, right here.
That's the entirety of the neck?
Yep. I mean, I'm impressed by the body itself here. The neck joint attaches to this piece, which has articulation back and forward.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's all the articulation there. But this provides back and forth and up and down, and then of course the head attaches to this little nub here.
So he's got decals on his neck?
Yeah, he's gonna have decals on his neck. Number 5 is going right there.
Those neck tats.
I don't know why, but some people don't like doing decals, and I find it one of the most relaxing parts of model building.
Well, it's very forgiving, right? Because you can you float it onto the model, and then there's like that little bubble of water that it will sit on. Yeah. Then you maneuver it into place, and then you use a bit of paper towel to wick away the water and watch it settle onto the model.
That's what my Q-tip is for usually, is
Yeah.
to roll it over the top of that to get the rest out. I think you and I are the only people who find this whole process relaxing and forgiving.
You described it to me, and my heart started screaming.
It's like if you could, it's like painting, but with like a stamp. Like you get it's like getting all the colors of whatever you're painting all at once.
And so much and such high resolution detail so quickly. And yeah, someone in the chat, Arclight saying, as someone who's never done it before, it's stressing me out because I'm afraid I'll screw it up and can't undo it. No, if you get it wrong, add more water.
Yeah, you just float the decal again.
Yep. The only times it can go wrong is if it folds, and even then,
Yeah, you
if you're
can.
gentle, you can brush it back into water and sometimes get it to open up again.
Oh, yeah.
I would recommend going down to your local hobby shop and picking up a random sheet of decals to just try out on something.
Yeah.
Like your face.
Because nerds out there, I love going into hobby shops and just seeing like the third-party decal kits for models, and you're like, do you want your F-86 Sabre to have markings for some, I don't know, like a particular squadron that served in West Germany in the 1950s?
For 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what? They've got them.
Which serial number fighter would you like this to represent?
When I needed to find a way to distinguish my little Tau from one another, because I, didn't do the right thing and do a WYSIWYG build, I just picked up a random sheet of 0080 Gunpla
Oh, nice.
and used the numbering, because they generally give you 3 or 4 sets of 0 through
Right.
9.
Sorry, what does WYSIWYG mean?
What you see is what you
What you get.
Yeah.
Got it.
So the
Thank
idea
you.
being that what is built on the model is exactly what will be equipped.
But that's a great way of numbering your little models.
Yeah.
So
And so they've all got little serial numbers on the back of them to let me know which one is which.
Okay.
Is that who you're taking to Kill Team?
I'm going to be bringing the Tau back, I think.
Cool.
I'm very close to now piloting them with confidence, and I want to
Okay.
get to that point.
I'm
because-
really excited to play these guys.
There's 10 of them?
Space Marines?
Yeah.
6.
6. Okay.
is it 6 of 10? Is the idea? Like you choose 6 out of your.
Well, the way Kill Team works is that everyone, with one exception, you have a 20 model roster, right? If you are playing, if you're going to a store event to play a pickup game, you will have 20 models on your roster. And then part of the process of setting up the game is you selecting which models you are bringing to that match. And that's only done once you know what the terrain is and once you know who your opponent is.
And there's
So
a
it's
bit of a
kind of-
back and forth of who gets
Yeah.
to choose what.
Yeah. So it's kind of like this pre-game sideboarding, and it encourages you to not just select generalists.
Right.
Right. You can select the weirdo models that only have specific applications.
Yeah, I might actually bring out one of my drone controllers.
Yeah.
And for those of you watching who are into the Warhammers and like the looks of some of these guys, we are going to be. We've been doing a bunch of Kill Team streams, and you can watch those on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/LRRTT is our tabletop channel. But also in the coming weeks, we are going to be having a Kill Team league.
Yeah, just kind of like beer league games.
Yeah. So,
It's not a narrative campaign. It's just matched play.
But yeah, it'll be we'll have multiple games going on each on each night. So
think,
there'll
yeah.
be sort of the feature game on the table here that will be mostly going on, but then there'll be more people playing, and we'll try to give you some kind of updates on those ones as they go.
Yeah.
The idea
I
is-
think Graham is very excited to come in with a roving cam.
Yeah.
We'll see
Yeah.
how much of that we get end up, but
Yeah, and how good it looks. But yeah, he seems very intrigued with the idea of just coming in and
Hey.
having his iPhone.
If he's excited to film, we're excited to play.
Yeah.
so yeah, that is starting not next week, but
Next
the week
there will be a
the week
second.
after.
For the first time, I won't get to say see you in a fortnight, because we'll be running back the Tinker Tailor Solar Fry with some catch up on some projects.
And actually, Graham and Ben will be down at PAX Unplugged.
Yes.
So if you are in the Philadelphia area, I believe is where it is,
It's Philly.
then check that out. They're not doing a panel or anything, but they'll be there, so you might be able to find them.
Gentle friends at the table here. Quick status check. Where are we at? Do you feel like we would like another break, or do we want to
I'm good for powering through.
push
Yeah,
through?
I think I can push through.
I'm almost done, I think, with this one model.
Let's push
I've got-
through then.
Yeah, I've got maybe another 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Different lighting.
Yeah, let me know how you. Let's see where we're at in 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Thank you, 20.
We
Yes.
But yeah, I feel like after that fight we had multiplayer-wise during the
That was rad.
crossover, I feel like I am now finally just about in control of the stealth suits.
It was that game that I was like, all right, I kind of like I've sort of figured out what to do with everything. Yeah, in my Greenskins team.
Yeah, turns out I've been playing them very wrong for a while, in the sense that they should be untouchable.
Yeah, like nobody should ever be like.
Anywhere close to you.
Yeah, I feel like stealth suits are the kind of things that, you know, they've got decent armor and a reasonable number of wounds, but they shouldn't be getting shot at.
No, yeah, they should never be able to be shot at. Unless I've done something terribly wrong.
They're just such cool models.
They are.
the Tau.
The stealth
Specifically
suits.
Oh, the stealth suits. Yeah, yeah.
I think they might be the biggest. No, Ben's Gellerpox infected monsters are the
Yes.
biggest thing in Kill Team, I think.
Yeah, yo,
But
absolutely.
like stealth suits are like they're big models. They're cool.
They're medium.
I guess they're up there with Tyranid warriors and like custodians.
I do like that idea that like they're the stealth suits. They're like the thermoptic camo or whatever. But the suit itself is actually quite bulky.
Yeah, it's like, you know, how the first generation stealth fighters were just like they turned like a sofa underwater. I have no idea why I said that, but like, yeah, they look like they have put all of their resources into making them undetectable by instruments,
and
rather
then-
than making them, you know, dexterous or strong.
But we can still find the time to put a big ass gun on them. Mm-hmm. No one's gonna take that away from you, Johnny. I don't know why Johnny is the developer of the stealth suit, but it's canon now. Set on screen. Okay. Let's do something with these claws. I want to see. These feel like they'll look real good with some white on them.
I'll get you, Gadget.
I'm just
Next time.
imagining this guy eating a very large bowl of ramen with his chopstick claws.
Big old chopstick.
Okay, I think it is time to borrow that white if my white isn't dead.
All right.
Let me do the Cameron shake because you've resurrected two paints that I thought were just toast. So. Oh, I need a haircut. Lord.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a little long there, bud.
2 days.
I mean,
That's,
I didn't want to say, but I like to be a good friend. It's a good sign when you can't open it, right?
Do you want me?
No, I'm good. I think. Give me a second.
I mean, honestly, it.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, it
All right.
means it's sealed.
Thank you, Paint Daddy.
Ooh, Korax White. This paint is kind of notorious for being extremely chalky.
Okay.
So yeah, you're going to want to thin that.
Okay. So.
So what I suggest is take a little paint from your, or a little water from your painting cup,
Okay.
and put a little white down on there, and
Okay.
then just mix them together in the on your palette.
It's the other advantage of using like Citadel paints is that they are so prevalent in the community that people like every color, every style of every color has like a whole history. It's like
Thank you.
for this one, what you need to do is do this and then this and then this.
Maybe a little thin, maybe a little too thin. Maybe a little thin.
Just a wee bit.
Maybe a little thin. There we go. Ooh, maybe that do it. Okay. Well, it's my first time doing this, so let's give it a shot.
Do it.
Yeah, once we get a... oh, am I going to have to do a clear coat on this and then do panel lining? I don't want to. But it'll look so good. Do you tend to coat your minis in a final coat, Cameron?
Yeah. Typically, I kind of like Games Workshop's Purity Seal. I forget what it's called now, but it's a satin.
It's a great name, honestly.
Yeah, it's just like a satin finish.
Oh, yeah.
When I do actual model kits, you usually do 2 stages. You do a gloss coat,
Yep.
then you apply your decals, and then you do a matte or a satin coat over top.
Yep.
Because the gloss coat is glossy because it provides a flat surface.
So you can get that whole the surface tension and that water beading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for these, yeah, it's you can skip straight to the satin coat. Mainly because you frequently don't have a lot of decals on it.
I did the clear coat on the towel because each one's got at least 2 decals, one for that helmet and maybe one for their arm.
Right, right. Oh, right, these are Space Marines, so they will have a bunch of markings on them.
Okay, this one goes
Oh, this is nerve-wracking.
halfway up with the circle towards the joint. Sure.
Tiny details.
Come on. I let my bowl of water cool, and that's no good.
It's because you're too chill.
My clear coat of choice for those asking is still Future floor polish.
Yeah. It's cheap.
Yep.
And it works really well. Honestly, like, it also is nice as a flow enhancer
Yes.
for paint. Because, the same reason that it makes a good clear coat is that well, a related reason, I guess. It lowers the surface tension.
Self levels, essentially.
Yeah.
It's the one time I was glad to to be shopping at Canadian Tire. As they have the system where if you're on the website, you can flash the price tag
Oh.
of what you're looking for if you can't find it.
Oh,
So you
really?
just go to the website, you say, I'm at this store, I'm looking for this product, show me where in aisle, and it will just go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool. Like the price tags are all like LED or something?
Yeah, well, they're all e-paper, and then they've got the LEDs attached
really?
to them.
That's actually super spiffy.
I think the only other company I know that reliably does e-paper tags is Superstore. By the way, they're all hackable, so if you'd like a free e-paper system, head on over to Superstore or Canadian Tire in Canada.
And steal their labels?
I'm not saying that out loud, but if you want to imply that on your own, that's your business.
Your criminal business.
Oh.
Aye.
Criminal.
I'm a criminal.
Nothing like twitch.tv/loading ready run for middle-aged men.
Men quoting
battle-
Eminem.
Anybody got a toothpick?
Yes.
Speaking of this,
Thank you.
speaking of the slogan for this show, the episode of Checkpoint that we recorded today probably just went up a little while ago, including a story about Eminem in Fortnite.
Oh.
He is he is in the next big event or whatever. They're adding several versions of Eminem.
So your dad will have someone to play as.
I hope he does a cover of The Missile.
Yeah. You know, Fortnite. Yeah. Like it's the 51-year-old rapper that's super down with the kids.
Is he 51 now?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
Only?
I mean, I did just spend a week talking about my favorite Japanese rap group, which I'm pretty sure are all in their 60s at this point. Still relevant, though.
Like, how old are all the members of Wu-Tang?
Oh, man. I think they need to be referred to as the elders of Wu-Tang now. They really dropped the ball on bringing up the next generation, didn't they?
Did they?
Of the clan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now their technique is all but extinct.
Thank you. My goodness.
Okay.
This deck was
But
not
there
one
is
to
one
release.
more. But there is one other.
And now my least favorite thing. The eyes.
But they were all deceived, for a second limited edition album was also produced and given directly to Doc Brandon.
Okay. Steady.
I think we're actually at least 2 Democratic administrations away from a full meme presidency.
You know, I had high hopes for Biden. Diamond Joe Biden.
I mean, he made the coffee cups with his. You've seen those, right?
No.
Oh yeah, no, they're literally a dark Brandon coffee cup.
The laser eyes?
Yes, it's color changing. It's Joe Biden when normal. When you fill it up with hot water, someone's here to protect you.
Man, that sucks.
I mean, if the choice is between ineffectuality and with humor and ineffectuality, trying to be serious.
Yeah, no, legit.
I remember reading an article when Obama was elected, because he's the youngest president. Because he's like 43 or something, I think, when he was elected. And 40 is the cutoff. Because
I think that's what you have to be 40.
you have to be at least 40, because that way you're probably going to die soon.
Yes, you won't make it 2 terms.
That was probably an idea that came about in a time when the life expectancy was a little lower.
So that came into effect in a time when.
35 is the cutoff. But yeah, I believe Obama was 43 or something like that. Anyway, they were talking about how, very soon, if a president is a similar age, then they will be somebody who would have grown up, playing video games probably, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, oof.
And talking about how that lessons that one might learn from having played video games and stuff that would apply to being president and stuff.
Ooh. All right, I think I'm actually ready to put on the shader.
Having a heated gamer moment during a debate.
Oof.
Yeah. I thought Obama was the youngest. Maybe not.
I feel like
Was
Kennedy was
Kennedy?
obviously one of the youngest.
And Biden is now the oldest, so there you go.
Oh no.
Because he just had his birthday. Beating the record of the oldest. which he was also previously.
Jacob, you had something there. What you got going on?
Oh, I'm putting on the null oil now.
When it's time to finish up your model and put the finishing touches on. That doesn't rhyme with null oil. Just forget I said anything. Just
No problem.
yeah. Let's reset.
You got it.
Null oil with left beef.
I'm sorry. What?
Oh, do
You
you
want-
know of the pizza?
None pizza with left beef.
Nope. Cannot
Okay.
say that this.
Oh, it's-
I'm sorry. This
it's
is
alright.
lost on me.
Kind of like a primordial meme.
Yeah, it's got to
on
be
the
at least
internet.
10 years old now?
And it was just this picture of somebody took of their Domino's pizza next to the order form online for it. And it was just like, on the left side of the pizza, nothing. No sauce, no tomato, no cheese. Or no, on the right side. And then on the left side, it just had like ground beef. Yep. That's the only thing. So it was just this pizza of like this pizza dough disc with kind of like this tumbling gravel of ground beef over it. And it was just none pizza with left beef. There you go.
Oh, an actual pizza. Yeah, that's very good.
The things that we discover collectively as a species.
And then very recently, there was somebody who posted about an online order form for a pizza where you could just have like "do not make" as one of the fields.
Don't.
Yeah, new advancements in none pizza.
Oh, very good. I feel like that's the only thing the Sororitas would order. Beh. Beh.
I think I have exhausted.
Everybody.
Yeah, really. Let's be clear here. Oh, no, I think I've exhausted. Wait. Oh, those are painted black in the picture. I see. Exhausted what I can put on this particular wing in terms of decals. So I'll send that to the show-off zone.
Ooh.
Let
All
me,
right,
let me
so-
focus that up a bit.
So this is also BFO. So BFO2 is clearly the designation for this particular machine.
There we go. Yeah, you can see those recessed areas with the little lines in them. Those were what was throwing me off because those are apparently to be painted black sometime in the future.
Ah, it's not a clean line. Dang.
I can almost read what it says below the BFO2.
Where's that?
Oh, toothpick?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks.
NB.
Do you mind if I have a look, Ian?
Certainly. If you've got eyes to see, be happy to let you read. Ooh, that looks good too.
The problem is with doing these on camera is that it's way easier to see on camera than it is with my own eyes.
What do your elderly eyes tell you?
Do your Elden eyes see?
And then when we get zoomed in enough that just walking around causes enough shaking to make things
Yeah,
blurry.
we sometimes use a heavier tripod for that camera when. But anyway.
Do you actually want to know what this says?
Sure?
No.
Come on.
If you put it back down where it was, I think I can probably zoom the camera in. And
Yeah,
see it.
nope. No, we're not showing that off.
Oh, we are? Okay.
No, we are not.
Japan strikes again.
We'll tell you later.
Okay,
we'll tell
great.
you off there. Wow. But yeah, you know what? Given the name of this, you can probably take your own guesses in chat. And if you're right, well, you're right. Right, where were we? I was putting decals on things. How about these big top wings? That seems like a fun time.
Seems like the Nuln oil messed up the job I did to the eye.
Oh.
That stinks. So you know what we're gonna do? Something inadvisable.
Okay.
We're gonna try to fix it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Good. Nothing is unfixable.
Yep.
I had a dog that might argue that point.
Gonna say there's also some hydrogen atoms from the 50s that might beg to differ. Oh, that's right. I get to see Oppenheimer on Sunday in IMAX.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Real IMAX, too.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh.
I need to go and see Killers of the Flower Moon because I didn't want to go see it opening weekend since I would have been in a theater between Five Nights at Freddy's and the Eras tour.
Oh.
Right, like, I can't imagine trying to see a film in
Weirdly, I kind
between those two audiences screaming through the walls.
I kind of think the Hank Hill reaction is kind of appropriate there.
Oh.
Oh. Having to deal with the errors with Swifties and
I'm glad they're enjoying it, but they make a lot of noise.
I saw the Marvels. I've been getting, general Marvel fatigue recently,
what
but
did you think of that?
the second season of Loki and the Marvels is very enjoyable. The second season of Loki was absolutely fantastic. I would watch Tom Hiddleston shovel dirt for a half an hour. Yeah, the Marvels was fun. It was just fun.
That is, I mean, I think that's kind of what you want those movies to do.
Yep.
Yeah, it did what it needed to do. And the after credit scene
Oh yeah.
made me say holy out loud.
I'm happy pizza's back on the menu.
Yeah. I think I'm done with this one.
Oh.
I think I'm done with this one. Take a look.
Yeah.
Please.
That's lovely.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's my, I mean, most of the grots don't count. That's the 21st mini I've ever painted.
Like from the 1 foot perspective, this is looking very good. And then when you get to the 3 foot, it's
Thank you.
that's gonna do.
Thank you. Cameron? Oh.
Yeah, just give me one moment here.
Where'd that toothpick go?
Very nice.
The 21st mini I've ever painted.
Nice.
Congratulations.
I think you can feel really strongly about that.
Thank you.
You're
It's
an
very
adult
clean
now.
looking.
When I was like kind of sort of picking up some of the basics. There's still things like mixing paint and thinning it and things like that I'm not super comfortable with, and I don't know how to dry brush yet, which I really want to learn. But when I was looking at like various examples of like, oh, okay, cool, like I'm gonna crush myself and be like, oh, all these professional painters, I'll never be this good. That phase of learning a new hobby. The one thing that I saw that I really, really liked and definitely noticed when it wasn't there was clean lines. Like it just looking clean.
Can you
Yeah.
put it in there?
Absolutely.
I'd also like to reiterate, though, Jacob, that by simply being here today, that makes you a professional painter.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Remember, kids, in that being professional only means that. Let me go fix
Is that-
that. Being a professional only means you're getting paid for it. It doesn't mean you're any good.
I'm a professional Magic player.
That looks fantastic.
Is that? I can't tell. I don't have my glasses on, actually. I was like, it looks fuzzy. Oh, well, hey.
There we go.
There we are. All right.
Oh yeah, it's looking good.
Love it.
And yeah, that the inking over top. Yeah, and whatever you did to the eyes definitely worked. The eyes look good.
Thank you. Thank you. That's one of the things that like doing all those orcs I got pretty good at. Yeah, I'm pleased with this one. I think this is just going to be the palette for the rest.
I think you have every right.
Yep.
I think it is
Is-
correct. to
Is
feel
that
good
a
about that work.
specific
Yeah, thank
chapter of Sororitas?
I've been trying to think of like what my chapter would be because you've got the your chapter of the Broken Wheel.
Yeah, Order of the Broken Wheel.
Order of the Broken Wheel. Sorry, I've been trying to think of like my own order. I think I need to do a little more Sororitas research before I come up with something that I feel like fits.
Soror research?
Yeah, a little more. What?
Soror research?
Soror research. Very good. Yeah. Yeah, because you had a really nice like tagline to yours, right?
Break what would break you.
Yeah. I was thinking like Order of the Tome, something like that. You know, we were talking a little bit before cameras were rolling. Order of the Tome. All knowledge has already been spoken. We have but to listen. You know, something like that. I don't know. I'm working on it, but this is just going to be decorative. All the extra orcs that I have painted, I actually put in my garden.
Oh,
As like just little decorations
that's
and stuff.
such a good idea.
Yeah, it's really cool because it's like, you know, when you get into like miniature scale,
Yeah, even the
You know,
smallest house plant
yeah.
becomes like a mighty tree.
yeah, it's very, very cool. Yeah, I've got 2 grots and a what is it? The dogs, the orc
Squigs?
dogs, the squigs, yeah, squig herder.
I love squigs
Yeah.
so much.
Yep.
I
See what I
mean,
do?
I feel like if you are an Imperial citizen, orcs popping up in your garden is like a real thing you have to
worry
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
But by doing that, you've already made the graduation into doing dioramas by accident.
Dioramas are something that I really love. Like, you know, those like books that are like oh man, that's miniature things make me so happy. Like, and everything having its own place, like bento boxes or like a well-designed camper or like just the bed unit in business or first class, like a capsule hotel, like
Yes,
wherever.
yeah.
That I don't know what the word for that is, but like I have a deep love for like a well-organized small thing.
I love watching like Japanese travel videos, and whenever the person gets their like hospitality kit
Yes.
and lays it all out, and it's like, these are the slippers, and here are the
here's the-
pajamas,
yeah.
the toothbrush, and I'm like,
Getting old out.
not bad, not
Not
bad,
bad.
not bad.
You get me.
yeah.
You get me.
And then also getting into like your first class
Yes.
flight capsule,
Cabin.
Yes.
and you know, like then they bring out the noise canceling headphones that have been sanitized, and I'm like,
It's
Too much.
no.
Too much.
But like that little like space capsule, I love that kind of life. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and just having everything like organized and tidy and specialized or generalized, depending.
But
Yep.
that's sort of I guess the dream that like that kind of like the sort of first class pod or whatever. That's sort of what it's selling in a lot of ways, right? As well as the space. It's that sort of everything nice.
Yeah.
It's like I want to live like this all the time.
Yes, the IKEA experience.
Yeah, I like Muji, if you're familiar with
Yes,
Muji.
this is a Muji sweater.
Very nice.
And when I was first taken to Muji, I was like, the IKEA for Cameron,
Yeah.
right? Like white porcelain dishes, sweaters and shirts, and socks, and like just
Knurled metal stationery.
knurled metal stationery. And I'm like, yes, this store is for me.
Yep. And they even have food and stuff. Yeah. Yep.
Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Right
Okay,
now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Later, chat. We're going to Muji.
Yeah.
The last ferry is in 2 hours.
2 hours. Great. Awesome.
I-
Oh no! We took a little trip over to where was it? Where was the miniature thing you
Oh
wanted
God!
to pick stuff up?
In Vancouver, there was.
Yeah, it was in
I think we just went to
Richmond.
Imperial Hobbies.
Yeah, Imperial Hobbies. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was the trip that broke me, and now I find myself here doing this. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, we had like a nice. Yeah, if you want to go to Muji next time, which Muji do you want to go to? There's one in Richmond. There's one downtown in Vancouver.
The Robson
good
Street
one?
one is the one that I usually go to. There's one in a mall. I want
That one's in Richmond. That one's not
Okay.
bad. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the one I usually go to. Is the one in Richmond because
I-
Richmond has really good food.
Yeah. I just need to figure out when they're going to have their cashmere sweaters in stock.
I'm sorry, Paul. I think we talked over you, bud.
No. I'm just I'm just sitting here, fantasizing about the same kind of thing. It's the three places we lack on the island. We don't have IKEA, we don't have Muji, we don't have an Apple store.
Yeah, all of the places that prioritize like tidy,
It's sort of-
organized life.
And I feel like it's ultimately a fool's bargain. That like it's it's something to aspire to, but maybe it's just me that like you can't actually live that way, but you can.
No, it's so much work.
You can.
It is so much work.
Yeah. The only people who live that way have like a team supporting
There's-
them to do that.
I forget what her name. Nami. She's like a Japanese woman who her entire life is various shades of white. And she just does videos where it's like, I'm doing my meal prep for the next 2 weeks. And it's very organized, and you imagine, like, I love watching your videos, and I think you would probably be utterly intolerable to spend time around, right? Because she's one of these people who's just like, I'm making a cute little brunch for myself. I have 10 minutes, and it's like, smoked like this piece of salmon.
Yeah.
And this is not reasonable.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's good to watch.
Yes, and I do my best. Like, part of the reason why I'm into minimalism is because I love that. I love everything being kind of everything in its place, but it helps me fight my ADHD. Like, and the biggest challenge is to not get more stuff,
Yes.
just in case. Like, and it sucks loving all of that and the organization and truly feeling so peaceful when I look at like a well-crafted bento box. And then having ADHD and my brain going like, I know you love that, but also, what if you had 80,000 coffee mugs?
Yeah.
How about that? Do you also like that? Like, yeah, I have a samurai and a goblin in my head that fight constantly. I just wish they would just realize their attraction for each other and bed down soon.
God, that sounds like a Web 2.0 manifesto. The samurai and the goblin in my head.
By Cory Doctorow.
Yes.
Did I do enough detailing?
That is a question only you can answer.
Yep. And remember, the enemy of done is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you haven't done the base yet.
What's that?
You haven't done the base for the. What is your philosophy for your model bases?
Oh, I have the sand stuff that I paint on it, but I didn't bring any here.
Okay. Yeah. I find that very interesting. To like, there's the different schools of thought of like, do a black base, goblin green base is the like
The
old
classic, like,
the old school
90s.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or doing like a realistic base with like rocks and sand and stuff. Or
It's the like little like making a little mini diorama. Like, oh god, oh, it makes me so
I
happy.
used to like that. I used to do like this. I just got like regular sand, and then I would glue it on, and then any of the bits of sand that were bigger than the other ones, I'd paint gray to make them rocks. And
The
Nice.
real
sort of worked
question we
out.
have to ask you, though, Jacob, is: are you one of those people who paints the edge black, or do you make the edge part of the base as a whole?
So when I was doing my orcs, you'll notice on my kill team that some of them have the black and some of them are painted whole. I think I prefer painting the edge black, so it's
too.
like a snapshot.
Me too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I think I prefer.
Black
yeah.
edges all the way.
Yep. Yeah, I think I prefer that because then it's more self-contained almost.
I think the grognards of the hobby would also agree with you on this one.
We are the grognards now, bud.
Oh, God, are we?
I think so.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Or we're one generation away. Like
I
once,
mean, yeah.
once another 10 years pass and most of the graybeards become potting soil, it's us, buddy.
I mean, I'm already Unix graybeard at this point.
Desert Bus gave me a lot more gray hairs this year. Yeah. But fortunately, they're coming in all Doctor Strangey, like right
nice.
here and then like at the temples.
That's where you want it. So
I'm happy with how
Oh,
my gray
yeah,
is coming
yours.
in.
Yeah, you look so freaking awesome.
yeah, you're doing quite well.
It's like your hair knew how professorial you are, and was just like, we got you, bud.
Yeah.
We got you.
I need to get my PhD to justify this.
How about just pay a little extra for a haircut?
It seems cheaper.
I mean, hey, you absolutely should get your TS.
satisfying?
I want you to get your PhD, man.
I've been saying it for 10 years. Why don't I simply go do it?
Right?
But then I would stop being able to say, one day I will get my PhD.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no.
No?
Ah, I missed painting the white on the shoulder pads.
Oh, well,
Nerds.
you can still add that.
We have a little time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I am just finishing up the last decal that I'm going to put on this guy. Gotta make sure it's. Sorry. True.
Do we have, like, American viewers who are like, why are you calling decals decals?
Cameron, the name of the program is Tinker Tailor Solder Fry.
Ah, good point.
The decal decal debate, whatever paradigm has happened
Yeah.
in our
it
chat
has
on various occasions.
Oh, okay.
If you want to call it a
Discourse.
decal, then you're welcome to do that on your own time.
Yeah.
When you're here, it's a decal.
We speak the King's English.
It's
You
like
can also, you're
the
free to call it a buoy if you want.
Yeah.
it's like the pop soda line, right?
Is it not a buoy?
Boy. From
I-
buoyant.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just talking down to me for a second.
Oh, no. Sorry, right. You're American. I'm sorry, Jacob.
I am a dual citizen now.
Right.
So there's still some stuff I do not know.
It's weird that isn't part of the
Yeah,
the test you have to take.
Pronounce this object. Buoy, get out.
Boy, or Newfoundlander.
Newfie. Nuts.
That makes Ian happy when things look like that.
Nice.
Getting nice long decals like that, properly aligned, is so satisfying.
I'm still going with Burger Force.
Yep, Burger Force
Yeah.
too, 100%. Love it. And still on theme, honestly. If you're taking the Kennedy definition of burger. No, he said Berliner, not burger. That's right.
Yes. Ich bin ein Burger. Ich bin ein Chromdynat.
Ich bin ein Double Junior Chi.
Imagine, being in. Oh no, I guess he would have been in. That speech was delivered in Berlin, right?
Yeah.
So in
Right.
East Germany.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Do you think that East Germans watch that and are just like, really, this guy, the hot dog?
I mean, we've made some pretty bad choices earlier, but this guy?
Yeah.
Well, okay, if that's what you people like in a leader. And it turns out that they didn't. Well, the people that mattered. Right. I'm gonna start packing up my things here.
I watched a podcast recently about the Berlin Wall.
Ooh.
And just like the idea that it was kind of a thing that they put up with a very little notice or planning because they had a problem and were like, oh no.
This won't be a permanent solution. This will
Yeah.
just be a patch.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oops,
like
oops.
for a long time there were buildings that you
were-
could go in the front
yeah.
door and walk out the back door.
It's like those wonderful buildings in Hong Kong where you get out on the 8th floor on one side, and then you go up to the 22nd floor, and get off at the ground floor.
Neat.
Well, I'm going to say this is me basically done the Sturm Tyran. I don't know if I will come back and do the rest of the decals on air because we've shown off the process pretty well, I'd say. But let's put our pieces back together here, and of course we'll have to give it a spray, as we said earlier. But that's, again, not something that's great to watch on air. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out in the end. Mostly, until we get it finished. So yeah, thank you so much for both joining me tonight on the show.
Thank
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
Oh,
It's always a joy to join you here.
and the conversation is fantastic as always. If you like what you see, I would recommend that y'all go and check out youtube.com/loadingreadyrun for a bunch of our stuff. This program will be found on youtube.com/loadingreadylive, which is where our streams live. You can check out our magic content, helpfully sequestered over at youtube.com/LRRMTG, and of course our tabletop content is all on youtube.com/LRRTT. Once again, we want to thank those of you who are supporting us via patreon.com and of course over at twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun while we're live. And of course, thank you as well to those of you supporting us directly at store.loadingreadyrun.com. And super you're welcome to you YouTube super thankers in the comments, and however it is that you do that. I don't know, and I don't intend to find out.
But we do appreciate it.
Very much.
Yes, you did the work, and thank you for doing it. So yeah, I get. Oh God, that's right. The sign-off's all weird because we will be back next week, but we will never see you in Fortnite.
Unless we sell out,
Yes.
which the Cameron Lauder guarantee, I will sell out.
Eminem, give us a call. Yeah. Other than that,
I can be bought.
For a reasonable price. You can put my skin in Fortnite.
Good, yeah.
My real skin. I don't care. I'll sell it. I'll sell out.
do it. We dare you. Ever forward, learning out of spite. Good night.